Hi guys, so I just wanted to make a quick video to show you what I do when I'm going to prep to go to the Goodwill bins. If you've never been to the bins, I think there are other companies like maybe the Salvation Army. I thought that the Ark had some similar type stores in certain cities, but in Denver, which is the closest community to me, Utah is about an hour longer for me. So I have gone to the Utah bins before, to the Salt Lake City ones, but I just go to Denver because my family lives in this direction. So that's why I go there. So if you're going to the bins, it is huge amounts of items that come out from the back, and they're in actual like blue roller bins. And the first misconception that I want to help people with is that people think, well, that's just the leftovers. Once the Goodwill doesn't sell something, then it comes out in the bins. And that is so not true. Some donations just never make it to a Goodwill store because at certain times of the year, especially, Goodwill just has tens of thousands of, items that can't fit in the store. And yes, sometimes you'll pull something out of the bins and it has the store tag showing that it was that they did attempt to sell it in the store, and you'll see that. But most of the items I pick have never been in a Goodwill, and in fact, sometimes you'll open a grocery bag or a trash bag and it's just as the person donated it, so even the Goodwill never looked in there. It's not like they looked in there and decided, yeah, let's send that to the bins. There is amazing stuff, just amazing stuff. I was just watching Bolo Buddies, Courtney, and she was at the bins, I don't know how long ago, a few weeks ago, and she found 4 envelopes. And she does hard goods, not clothing. So she just saw 4 envelopes, so she picked them up, stuck them in her cart, and then she goes through toys and things later. And in one of those envelopes were a bunch of stinky stickers or scented stickers, but they were vintage ones. And that one envelope should be worth several $1,000s because that's how much stinky stickers are worth. So I've never found a $2,000 item, but I have found several just amazing bins full of stuff. I told the story already, about going to Seattle, finding out that these construction kilts were worth money, and there were 5 of them all, stacked together, and that was a $500 trip plus all the other stuff. That was just one handful of things that was worth $500. And then I've also found a set of, like, I want to say 13 sweaters that one person had donated, and I didn't think I was going to tell the story. I forgot. I should have looked up the name of it. But they're the ones that have like school bus buttons or ladybug buttons, and they're just very, very popular in certain brands. And nobody else thought they were worth anything because they are, if you don't dress like that, we call it like like a teacher look, like you're dressing for the kids or something. But so they're very embellished and kind of raised embroidery, and then you have the buttons that match the motif. And I had, for some reason, sold one of those like before I ever went to the bins, and I'd gotten like $40 for it. So when I went to the bins and I saw this whole bin full of these sweaters, I just knew right away. And I didn't even have to look them up. I just threw them in my bag. And so those are two that come to mind, 2 stories that come to mind out of bin finds. I found lots and lots of $100 items in the bins. But anyway, so that's your first misconception. Do not avoid the bins because you think it's leftovers. That is so not true. Now, going to the bins is much more labor intensive in my mind. A lot of that might be because I'm 5 foot tall on a good day. Let's hope I stay that way. My mom is, older than I am, and she's slowly losing some height there. And and so there could be worse things in life, right? I mean, I'm fine. I'm not going to complain, but yes, I am 5 foot tall. So no matter where the bins hit me, it is a huge stretch to get in there. And that's why I was saying on my other video that my back is kind of out because when I see a bra or something that I'm going to sell, for my consignment lady, if it's to the back of the bin, I'm like, jumping up and the bin hits me in the waist and I'll reach for it, because I mean, that's what I'm there to do. And when my husband's there, it's a lot less backbreaking because he's taller than I am and he loads and unloads and does all that. But I thought, so the best thing to do, I can explain it to you, but the best thing to do is to go to YouTube if you've never visited the bins and just take a look at Goodwill outlet hauls or Goodwill bin hauls, and you'll see you're technically not supposed to film in there. The reason why is that technically speaking, some people with challenges are employed by the Goodwill or they do job training with the Goodwill. And so technically speaking, if you're filming in there, you could get somebody who, on video who is not able to consent or whatever. Now, most people that I know who make bin videos, they keep the camera pointed in the bins. They don't film just everybody in there. And so I'm fine with it. I don't have a GoPro or anything fancy like that, so you won't get any bin videos from me while I'm actually in the bins, but you'll get lots of Goodwill haul bin haul videos, which I'm going to start one tomorrow. But anyway, I thought, I'm doing all this prep to go to the bins, and I might as well show you what I do. Now, if you're living near the bins, or if you're just going to go for a couple hours, you probably don't need to do any of this. I go and I'm here for a short period of time. So I am there from 8 a.m. till, they close or until I just have so much that I know I have a car full, whichever comes first. And so I have to prep a certain way to be able to never leave the building. You can leave the building and you can either pay for your stuff and then go do what you need to do and then come back. But for me, I'm only here a short time, so I just want to stay there. I just take supplies with me. And, plus when I'm in there, I just don't want to miss what's called a rotation. So a rotation means, and every city does it different, but in Denver, what a rotation means is that they say, everybody behind the red line, and everybody has to go behind the red line. And at least at this bins. Now, every bins does it different too. So there are 3 bins in Denver. And this is the one that's just convenient to me. I'm used to the people there. I'm used to the way it works. So I don't really go to the others as much as I used to. I used to go to all of them. But this one just seems to work. And it's crowded, but not too crowded. And so I just stick to this one, at least for right now. So anyway, they say everybody behind the red lines. And then they take a certain portion of the clothing away, and then they bring fresh out, and then they say, everybody get your place. Now you can't touch anything yet, you just get your place, and then they're like, go, or whatever they say. And then you can dig. And it's furious. If you have body space issues or you're not used to someone being in your space, it can seem strange. But at the Goodwill bins, everybody is working. Everybody is trying to make a living. There are very few people who go to the bins who are just trying to find a pair of shoes. That would be too stressful to find yourself a pair of shoes when there's thousands of pairs of shoes getting thrown everywhere. So you have to be prepared to go. But if you're a reseller, it is the most fun you will ever have. Is it productive? That's up to how fast you get it going and how productive you are at the other places that you're used to shopping, and also what your budget is. If you're looking to expand your business on a budget and still have the same quality of items, I say go to the bins. Now, you can't go to the bins and get out in an hour because it's mixed in with every, Christopher and Banks shirt and, Target clothing and Walmart clothing and dirty clothing. It's all mixed in. So if you're in a hurry or you don't like to, have to bend over if you're not physically able to do that, then it may not be for you. But I'm losing my voice again. Okay, so I better hurry. Let me show you what I'm doing for tomorrow. Okay, now it's going to be super cold in Denver, and I have a very nice Carhartt jacket behind me, but I am going to take that off and leave it in my car. Most people do not steal. Most people are not over looking for your stuff while you're in the bins, but it does happen. And in some cities, people report that it's just terrible. So I just don't take anything that I don't have to take in that I feel like I have to watch. And my Carhartt jacket is not one of the most expensive ones, but then I'd be without a coat, and I'm stuck in Denver by myself. So I do like that coat. I'm used to wearing it. So what I'm going to do is take stuff that I don't care about if somehow I lose it or it gets lost. So this is just a hat. It's a Target hat. I like it, but if it got mixed up, it's not a big deal. This is a BG, what is it? BCBG hoodie. I do like it. It is convenient because it does have this, and I could keep my credit card in here. Depending on what I'm wearing, I make sure I have somewhere that Velcros or snaps or zips shut to keep my credit card with me. When my husband's with me, then I don't have to do all this prep because one of us can just run out to our car and get whatever we need. Now, some people do report you better be careful about what you leave in your car at some of the bins because people are just, you know, they're just doing what they do. And I have never had or felt like anyone tried to get into my car. So I don't leave my purse up in the dashboard, needless to say, but I don't take my purse into the bins, and then I keep it covered so that at least someone would have a hard time knowing where it is. I don't keep it in the front seat or a common place in the car. They would have to really break into my car. Now, what I do is I tend to wear cargo pants. Like these are Carhartt cargo pants. And, same thing. Here's like I've got two pockets here. I've got pockets that button here. And I wear pants where my phone can go completely down in whatever pocket I'm keeping it in. If it's cargo pants, I make sure that thigh pocket is deep enough to put my phone completely down in. And it's not because someone's going to walk by and take it. It's because you're bending over, you're carrying trash bags, you're doing physical labor. And so I see a lot of people with like a fanny pack or a shoulder, like a lightweight shoulder bag. And I've done all of those, but it's just in my way. I just like everything that is worth anything at all on my person just zipped into my pocket. So I keep my credit card in one and I don't unzip that the entire time I'm in there. That way I know it's there. Nobody, I haven't lost it. It's there. And then my phone is deep enough in my back pocket on these pants in particular that I just lift it out. The other thing I do, as you can see, I have a wedding ring and then I have another ring. I take those off. Again, no one's going to come up and take them off me. It's just that I guess I eat too much salt, and then in the morning I have trouble getting my ring off. But by the middle of the day, my rings are pretty loose. And I just don't you know, they mean something to me. The one ring, I should have kept it on, but I didn't. It's like 50 years old and I inherited it. It's not necessarily the money value. I just would feel terrible because I want that to go to my daughter. And then, of course, my wedding ring, I don't want to lose that either. So I use Vaseline in the morning and I pry my rings off, and I leave them. I don't take them into the bins. If I absolutely got in there and forgot, I have done that before, and then I zip them in one of the zipper pockets, and it just makes me nervous because, you know, those are family heirloom type things. So that's the next thing I do. Then what I do is on my phone, tomorrow, I'm going to turn the Bluetooth off and the location off and just the Wi-Fi, because I don't get on their Wi-Fi. Maybe, you know, I should. Maybe that would make my thing faster, but I just keep the mobile data on. But if you're in there all day and you are going to be looking things up on the eBay app, you don't want your battery to go down as fast. So I turn off everything that I don't need when I'm in there. So I just keep enough mobile data to text, you know, my husband and friends and stuff, and that kind of thing. Now, because I'm in there 12 hours straight sometimes, most of the time, I also have one of these. And it's just a power pack. It's very simple. And I actually keep that in my cooler because, you know, I mean, people will know now if they happen to watch my video there, but you know, no one's gonna think that you have a power pack in there. And these aren't as expensive as they used to be. You could get a much smaller one. This one's like 6 or 7 years old, and so it's big. But this thing will charge my phone twice. Once in a great while, even though I have my location turned off and all that, something, you know, my battery just goes faster, and sometimes I can't figure out exactly what it is. Like today, I barely used this. Like toward the end of the night, when I was looking up a bunch of stuff, my phone was starting to go down. But most of the time, I don't even end up using it. But I keep this in the front pocket of my cooler so it's not getting cold with my other stuff. And I just cover it up with gloves and things, and someone would really have to work to reach down in there to get it. And then my car keys, I either keep down in that same zipper pocket in my cooler, but you know, someone could think, hey, that's a great cooler. Now, I don't think they will. It's an old beat up one, and that's another thing. You know, don't take your best stuff in there. If you want to show people what you got, I don't know, I guess that's fine. But to me, I don't have a lot of fancy stuff anyway. I'm not a fancy schmancy person. But like my rings and the few things I have that are worth a decent amount of money, I just don't take a chance of losing it or getting it stolen. These places are full of tons of people, and if you're busy digging in the bins, you're not going to notice if someone goes over and gets into something. So just don't take anything you care about. Excuse me. The last thing I do take in is my cooler. Now, that's because I'm in there 12 hours. And so what I do is I'm going to take about 3 or 4 bottles of water while I'm in there. Now, sometimes I don't even get a chance to drink hardly any of it. And then sometimes, you know, I'll drink like all 4 bottles because it's a little slower pace. There's a little bit less competition, and I'm not having to hurry as much. So it just kind of depends on how the day goes. Then if you're a coffee drinker, that's a little bit harder, but I don't drink coffee. I drink hot tea and iced tea, and then I drink some soda. So I will pack a couple of sodas in my cooler. And then I take easy snacks. I've just got Smart Food popcorn, and sorry, can't get it back in there. And then just whatever finger food snacks you want that are pretty quick and easy. Now, again, if you have a friend with you or a spouse with you, one of you can go get lunch somewhere if you want to. But for me, I eat a lot, don't get me wrong. I normally do not skip lunch, but when I'm at the bins, it's just something about the way that it's all coming out, and you're missing an opportunity if you sit and have some leisurely lunch. At least I do. Um, and if I lived here and could come every day, I'd probably have a whole different way of doing things. But for me, this is like my time to come get good stuff. The way I do it too is I bring trash bags. When there's so much stuff coming out, you need a way to keep it straight. Depending on what you sell. Maybe you only sell t-shirts, or maybe you only sell bras, then that's not going to be difficult. But for me, I sell anything that is, pants, shirts, whatever. So I'm seeing massive amounts of inventory because I'm grabbing things that I don't have time to check the condition of or to check all the branding on. Normally, when I'm going through the bins, I try real hard to look at the brand so I don't have quite so much to do when I get back to my chair. But sometimes, there's so much competition that I'm just grabbing anything that looks interesting or looks like something I would sell, and I'm throwing it in my bag. So what I do is when I know I'm going to keep it, then it goes in the trash bag. And today I had 3 trash bags. I had one for my consignment lady who buys bras from me, and I tried to get all the bras just in one trash bag. Now, toward the end, I was so busy and in a hurry that when I go through my own stuff, I'll have to take some of those out and put them in her trash bag. The second thing is because I do consignment at a consignment store, and the stuff I buy for them is stuff they really like, but it doesn't sell well on eBay. And so then I had a second bag, and then I had a third bag for my eBay stuff. And especially today where I'm stuck and I need to list tomorrow, I didn't want to have to bring in everything I bought. I only want to bring in my eBay stuff. So I really tried hard today to keep it very separate. Okay, the next thing I do are these. Now, the Denver bins, the ones I go to, they really are very good at trying to keep the bathroom clean. I mean, clean is, I'm not going to say it's clean like I like my house clean, but it's a public bathroom, but they do try. And they also try to restock it with toilet paper and all that stuff. But I have been there where end of the day, and there's just nothing. There's no hand towels, there's nothing. So I try to remember to bring these. I just keep them in my cooler. If you can find a cooler like mine where it might be kind of a picnic cooler, so there's the cooler part, and then there's a big zipper on the front, and it has this big pocket. And that's where I keep everything else. And then I don't have them in here. I left them in my car. I have one back here, but it's got my personal stuff in there. But then I just use IKEA bags. Now, you can use whatever method you want. I see people take almost like wagons in there. They're like, I don't know what they're some kind of building wagon or something. They're intended for something. I think they get them on Uline, and so they'll wheel that in there. And people bring IKEA bags, they bring boxes, they bring whatever. But I just use IKEA bags to grab stuff out of the bins. Then I take it back to where I'm sitting. And that way, if I can't get it all sorted, I just stack up my IKEA bags. So that's pretty much everything I can think of to kind of help you get through the day if you're actually going to drive and spend 12 hours there. Now, if you want to, I see people with, not headphones, but, the earbuds, or I have seen people with headphones. So, if you're not really there to make friends and you're just trying to get your business done, excuse me, and you're not there with someone, that's okay too. Really, I mean, I do see some people who are there every day and they become friends and they do that. I go so intermittently that I haven't really made a lot of friends, honestly. I would like to, but I just haven't. I try to be friendly, but people just see me bop in sometimes in the summer. I don't even go all summer because we have so much garage sale stuff available. So, they're seeing me once every month or two sometimes. And um, so the people who go every day, they really bond and they share stuff, and it's great. Um, but for me, if I wanted to, I could easily just listen to podcasts all day. I don't, because my son will call or my husband will call, and that's enough. Other than that, I'm just trying to get my stuff. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you guys. Don't be afraid of the bins. The bins is just full of a bunch of business people, just like you. They may go to the flea market, but don't underestimate the people who look, they're like me. They wear their worst clothes in. Some people are there to kind of show whatever they got, and they'll wear these amazing bin finds, like these very expensive clothing, and that's fine too. I mean, you know, that's great. That's their social group. Like, they go every day, and that's their social group. So they want to look nice at the bins. I see women in high heels and dresses shopping at the bins, and it's great. But for me, I dress down. I'm there to work. I wear hiking boots or tennis shoes, and I'm there just to get my share and get home. And so don't be afraid of the bins. Most bins are very safe. Most people aren't going to take your stuff. But you do need to, when you first go, you want to go in, find wherever, however it works at your bins, find where you're going to be set up. Now in Texas, when I went to the bins, there were plenty of carts. Everybody had their own cart. There was never a shortage of carts. And then you just kept stuff in your cart. But in Denver, like I said, you have to give your license, and I still think they're a little short on carts. So we'll see if I can even get one tomorrow. I'm going really early so I can get a cart. But what you can do is, out of the bins, there's always sheets and blankets and rugs. And so what I did today, because I had so much that I couldn't sort at a time, when I first got there, I went and got myself 2 or 3 sheets out of the bins. And then as I needed to protect my stuff or cover it, just so someone isn't knowing what you're buying, I went and I draped the sheets over. And what I would also suggest is, if your bins doesn't give you a discount for buying more, then every few hours, especially if you have a partner there with you, every few hours, just pay for your stuff and go put it in the car. It just makes it logistically easier if you're buying a big amount of stuff. So anyway, those are my tips. Again, I'm the one person who is there from open to close. I don't see too many people there at open who are still there when it closes. I'm like one of the few, because that's just what I have to do. So if you're going to try to do that, if you're living in the mountains like I am, and you're going to try to drive, just make it easier on yourself. Take some food, enjoy the day, try to hit somebody up to at least, come check on you occasionally, and, they could watch your stuff at the wall so you could go pay and take that stuff out. It just makes it simpler to do it that way. Let me know if you have any tips for me at the bins. I am all for learning, and if you have some tip that works for you. The IKEA bags are really good, but they are kind of hard on my back once they're all full to haul. I could get one of those wagon things, but then that takes up all my space, bringing it from Wyoming. So I can't really bring like a contraption to roll around at the bins. It just takes up my space. I need to get there. And then if they have a bin with a rope tied onto it, then that's what I use. If they don't, then I just use an IKEA bag or throw it over my shoulder or whatever. So let me know if you have any tips for me, but I hope this helped some of you. Please don't be afraid of the bins. It saves so much on inventory, even with my hotel costs and my gas costs right now. Which, if you don't know why I'm here in a hotel, go watch my last video. There's a reason I am stuck here in Denver. Um, but uh, it still, I will come out ahead even with the hotels I had to get, and with the stuff I found at the bins for $1.89 a pound. I still feel like I come out way ahead most of the time. So all right, guys, thanks for listening. I hope this helped. Have a great day.